This top 11 list has scary videos that you were never meant to see, and the events shown are simply terrifying. So there's this paranormal video called Ghost Watch that's supposed to be really scary. One of the scariest things people had ever seen at the time. When it first aired on live television in 1992, Ghost Watch was quickly pulled from syndication for reasons I'll get into in just a moment. But suffice to say, you were never meant to see this video because what they caught on live TV was too scary. Only thanks to the internet has the video resurfaced, and it's beyond creepy, especially what supposedly happens to you when you watch it. Ghost Watch follows a family in the English town of Northolt and all of the creepy paranormal things they encounter in their small home. They even have a name for the ghost, Pipes, because that's what it sounds like sometimes. Pipes hissing and banging in the walls.
Stay where you are, please. Sarah, stay there, please.
On live television, she is talking about drawings.
Some kids' pictures they weren't here before.
One of the pictures moves on its own, and this is far from the only time the poltergeist has thrown around pictures.
Incredible noises coming from the walls and from the ceiling. Ah! Oh. Kimmy? Kim? Did you do something?
Soon, people are repeatedly calling in to report ghost sightings of Mr. Pipes, and what's scary is all of the descriptions seem to match. Do you believe what he says?
We're still getting calls about that shadowy figure that was seen in the haunted bedroom, or people think they've seen in the haunted bedroom. Now, what's really weird is these are all tallying with the description. We're still getting calls about that shadowy figure that was seen in the haunted bedroom, or people think...
I believe him because Mr. Pipes' shadow figure sightings are still being posted to this day. For example, when this mirror moves on its own, it reveals a haunting figure that doesn't look like a member of the camera crew to me. The face in both these Mr. Pipes sightings looks the same. Eventually the mother peels the covers back and finds her Suzanne to be in a catatonic state.
Susie. Stop it! Stop it, Susie!
It looks bad, but when she snaps out of the trance, you'll quickly wish she went back into it. She recites Little Red Riding Hood, an interesting story to choose. It's about somebody consuming and assuming the identity of another person when you think about it. In this respect, Suzanne's relationship with Mr. Pipes is very similar to the wolf in relation to the grandmother. Anyway, as if this weren't enough, the backstory behind this video is even scarier. The producer years later admits that yes, this show was fake, but that might have been a legal strategy for some pending cases. Apparently, people watching this had mental episodes, and nobody will say what they did. It could be a result of suggestion, or it could be Mr. Pipes taking them over. And with that said, keep in mind that you've seen Mr. Pipes twice in this video, so maybe you'll be having an encounter with him yourself very soon. Orange orbs is how one witness describes this unexplained video of light spotted in the sky. Posted on January 16th, 2021, the bizarre sight was caught on Snapchat video hovering over the Bronx. What looks to be a starlit sky is anything but, as these mysterious stars start shifting in one direction as a single unit. I thought I heard creepy sounds coming from the sky too, as it passes, but I think it's traffic.
Those things are orange. Look at them. Next to each other. They literally fly next to each other. They're orange in color. They look like stars. Look at that. It's a triangle.
When you connect the points together, you can see he is right. The mysterious lights do seem to form a bizarre triangular shape in the sky. This observation makes me suspect that this strange sighting could be a government experiment. The outline looks like the same shape as the fabled Aurora project, but why the designers would put large visible lights on a stealth aircraft doesn't make sense, so that must not be what this is. The person recording is stunned beyond belief and turns to some strangers to talk about the encounter.
You guys know what that is? See that? Yo nunca he visto eso. Es una cosa anaranjada en triángulo. Mira cómo vuelan. No hacen sonido.
2 seconds later, the lights mysteriously change color, and one of them goes away completely. They continue hovering over a building for some time, and then the video ends before we get a chance to see if it lands or what. I'm not sure what to make of this mystery, and neither is anyone else who watched this video. Information is tight, and I couldn't find any other videos, but one person living in the Bronx says there were actually 5 points in the sky when they saw it. Another person claims to have seen the same thing 7 years ago in Virginia. But like I said, there's no video evidence besides this. The way the lights change colors makes me wonder if this is a drone. Apparently drones must have different color lights to indicate when they are changing directions according to the law. So people could be piloting them in a formation from the top of the building, or maybe we've just been visited and now they're here. A garbage man in New York City leaked this video online to show us a scary side of the industry that we were never meant to see. He needs to pull this dumpster down an alley to the garbage truck. Most of us would walk right up and grab the handle, but the veteran worker does something important first. He kicks the dumpster and waits. That's because out here you can get surrounded by a mob of rats. If you walk up to their territory without giving them a heads up, kicking makes them scatter away.
Come on, bro. Come on. Get your stuff together and get out of here. Get all your boys. Tell all your boys, let's go. Yeah.
This dumpster must not have much food in it because only a few run away instead of dozens like normal. Now comes the hard part.
Now we're going to attempt to move the can.
He gives a sharp tug and lets go. When nothing confronts him, he proceeds. He gets halfway down the alley when something creepy decides to make his day twice as difficult.
Still. Come on, bro. You gotta go. Can't go back in there.
This one is smaller than the rest, but it's stuck around longer than the others and seems twice as territorial. It starts to run away and then it gets another idea. I'm not sure if he fell over or dropped the camera, but the rat, scared and caught up in the moment, jumped straight at him. It looks like an aggressive move rather than just trying to get away. That rat did not want to give up its dumpster. This is why garbage men are paid more than teachers. Jokes the top comment of this video. I'm not sure if this statement is true, but after seeing this video, do you agree with it or not? And if this is how crazy just one rat acts, imagine how scary it would be to get chased down an alleyway by a whole swarm of them. Talk about a tough and thankless job. Trevor, aka Hitch, has a live stream channel where he travels all across the country meeting new people. The only problem is the people he meets aren't always alive. He's staying overnight at a hotel that's supposedly haunted when scary things happen to him. The kind of stuff the hotel's owner would probably never want you to see because it would be bad for business.
I've never seen anything that can be explained. I've never heard anything that could have no explanation.
He is in the middle of talking about how he's never experienced a scary moment that couldn't be explained.
And I'm doing stuff where people, I think people would be like, you'd be very...
When suddenly some weird things caught on live stream leave him laughing uncontrollably with fear. I think he's laughing to cover up an intense sense of panic. A vein is about to bust out his forehead with adrenaline, suggesting his fight or flight instincts were triggered and he was gearing up for conflict. This was not someone in his hotel room because, unless I'm mistaken, he wasn't sharing a room with anyone in this video. He was staying all by himself when the lights turned on. I guess he could have asked a random person to help him make a ghost video, but his response seems genuine, so I don't think this moment is made up. I will say as a counterpoint that many other scary live stream moments like this have turned out to be fake though, so I'm not claiming this was 100% real. I'm just saying that this was really weird and he seems freaked out. Tell me if you think he was really staying in a haunted hotel that night. I think he was. After all, when you travel to different places all over the country, it's only a matter of time before one of them ends up being haunted. 9 out of 10 people do not immediately notice what's wrong with this handshake, so allow me to show you where to look. Trust me, you'll be sorry that I did.
Give me your hand.
I like cake, I just don't like ice. That's my main.
This is someone's right hand and yet they're on the left side. Also, look at their fingernails. They're facing the wrong way. How can this be? The answer isn't pretty. The condition is called hypermobility. Though the phrase double jointed is commonly used, it's mostly genetic, meaning you are either born with this unusually large range of movement or not. Only 20% of people have it, though typically not to this degree, and there's no way for the rest of us to gain this talent, if you want to call it that, so don't even try to practice. Like most people, watching this video makes me feel like my fingers are going to fall off. Tell me if you would be able to shake the hand of someone with hypermobility while they were doing this. I mean, it's creepy, but also kind of cool. On December 6, 2018, the Longmont Observer in Colorado released video evidence of a weird paranormal orb in their office that they fear could be a real ghost sighting. Notice the way the singular orb mysteriously changes colors as it moves towards the camera. The last I checked, dust doesn't create this kind of strobe light effect. Also, at 3 seconds, the tracking software detects the object's movements and puts a motion box around it, which I think it has been specifically programmed not to do with dust particles. This kind of looks like an air vent, so maybe this was a piece of dust that got jettisoned when the AC turned on, but I'm pretty sure these are fluorescent lights, so that can't be it. The point is, the Longmont Observer says in clear words that this is an office ghost and they make no mention of dust as a news publication. I'm sure they thought long and hard as to whether or not they should release this video to the public, since any statements about believing in the supernatural could harm their journalistic integrity. With that said, I'm glad they made this video public and said that they were certain it was a ghost. Now the question is whether or not you believe this encounter is paranormal. It looks weird, but personally I am not sure. The Mikey Mike channel encounters a bizarre sighting in the clear blue sky that leaves him freaked out. The creepy moments were also caught on dash cam, so we can have a look too.
Word, in case you missed it, I'll give it to you again right now. It's easy. E-A-S-Y. Now what you want to do is take that code word easy and text that.
What the hell? Where the f*** that just come from?
A bolt of lightning touches down on a sunny day, no rain, hardly any clouds in the sky, and the few hanging around have not even a touch of gray.
There's no clouds here. Look, no clouds. Like it just came from space.
Mikey can't shake the feeling that he's seen something he was never meant to see. This video got me curious, and I was able to find a second one like it, half as long and twice as weird.
Oh, I hope I got that time. I don't know if I did or not. It's in the corner over here.
At 1 second, a flash of lightning touches down without intersecting with a cloud at all. It seems to just literally come out of the blue. I looked up what this was and came across a term called dry lightning that I have heard before but never really studied in depth. This is a name for what happens when precipitation evaporates really fast. It's technically raining, but we just don't notice because rain doesn't reach the ground, but lightning does. These two videos basically mean you can get struck down by a random bolt at any time, even on a nice day. There really is no safe time to stand under trees or by anything metal when you consider that this is apparently a common phenomenon. You might have almost gotten struck by lightning plenty of times without even noticing it because it's silent and you probably weren't looking up. Freaky, right? Is my house haunted? Writes a user named BB5432 on the haunted subreddit. This paranormal video of their place was caught on a neighbor's doorbell cam across the street, who later showed it to her out of concern. It doesn't look like much at first, but there's actually a lot of creepy things going on in this video that you might not see. But first, let's start with the basics. The Reddit poster claims her house was completely dark when these mysterious, unexplained lights started flashing all around the door. The television in the living room was not on, she says, and even if it were on, it's facing the opposite way at an angle that would not create this effect at all. Whether or not to believe her is up to you. I do, because the flashing seems too bright for a television and takes up the whole window at times. Nobody would watch a television screen that bright because it would undoubtedly hurt to look at for that long. And at 25 seconds, the creepy light grows even brighter and does not subside until the video ends. BB5432 later posted, she has no further reason to think their house is haunted, but still struggles to explain what this was if not a ghost. She adds the same thing happened to her years ago. The same neighbor showing her and her husband lights in their door, and nobody could figure it out then either. Someone said they should check the electrical wiring in that room, which I agree is a good move. But other than that, everyone else says this is super weird, and even she has to admit she's creeped out. There's also one more weird thing that I wasn't even going to mention, except she saw it too. A shadow figure in the doorway. You can see it whenever the lights go down, but it's probably most apparent at 4 seconds. I took a still image and zoomed in. Here it is with no special effects whatsoever. The outline of a shadow figure looking out the window. Tell me if you can see it too. I'd say that house is haunted, if that's not a resident. Everyone knows computers are getting better at reading us every day, but few people know how terrifying the technology has quickly become. As of today, computers know us well enough to predict our next moves before we even realize it, but now they're going one step further and literally scanning our minds. So they get hooked up to this helmet of electrodes and study a set of people's faces for 2 hours, roughly the same amount of time it would take to get to know someone long enough to form a strong temporary memory of them. After that, they are asked to recall the faces they've been studying. Not draw them, mind you. Just think about them in as much detail as they can remember. While they were studying the faces, a computer program was studying their thoughts. It lifted the images out of their mind and projected them onto a screen. Here are the 2 images of someone's face they were asked to study. And these 4 circled images are what one person thinks about when asked to reconstruct the pictures with their mind. Congratulations, you are literally looking at someone else's thoughts. Not only that, the computer algorithm is able to pick out which image looks the most accurate using facial recognition technology. The image is 87% accurate, as the 2 pictures they were asked to remember. Computers can measure the accuracy of your thoughts. If all of this confuses you, all you need to know is that computers can literally translate your thoughts into images if you are wearing this helmet. And when they figure out a way to do this without the helmet, we could have long-range telepathy and all of the problems that come with it. The San Antonio Cemetery in Texas could be one of the scariest places in the world to go exploring if this video is real. A ghost hunter from the Paranormal Journal stands in total darkness when some creepy things are caught on camera, and despite the lack of light, what he experiences is downright terrifying. His paranormal equipment detects movement, and then a single word crackles across the spirit box in an odd staticky voice. He never shows us exactly where he positioned the motion detection equipment, so it could be detecting his movement or a gust of wind for all we know. But here's something weird. If you look closely, there is a strange phantom light at 29 seconds, the same moment that the motion detection alarm goes off, that soon fades away. I would say there's another investigator, but I think that he might have been exploring the haunted cemetery all alone that night. If so, I have no idea what this light is, and even if it was a member of his team, that still doesn't explain the odd voice moments later that says hello. I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit subscribe in the next 5 seconds? Because I upload 4 new scary videos every week. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. Number 1. This video might not seem like much at first until I tell you the ultra creepy backstory behind it. The strange sighting was spotted in the sky in 2017 by an observatory in Hawaii. The Harvard science community announced that this looks like a different size and shape than any other asteroid, and that based on the way it moves, it might not be from our solar system at all.
It looks very different from objects that we have found. There seemed to be an extra force that is pushing it, and it's not clear what this push is.
The object moved like no other asteroid or comet we have ever encountered before, accelerating at times as if controlled. One official report even goes so far as to suggest this is a probe sent to our planet from another civilization. This is a screenshot from the official report by Harvard researchers, and yes, I recommend taking a look for yourself. So look at this tiny little blip in the sky once more. I bet it looks a lot scarier than it did before now that you know it was something that we were never meant to see. I'm about to demonstrate why being skeptical of ghost sightings is not enough to spare you from having a paranormal encounter of your own.